White flag raised. Tape released. First to show in front is last year's runner-up Instit with 14 fences to jump. Close up is her stable companion Allegorie de Vassy. A couple of lengths to Brights Hill and then Calico. As they meet up with their first fence and jumping on is Allegorie de Vassy. Heads Instit, then Brights Hill, Calico. Must be obeyed on the inside. Is followed by our Dear and the rank outsider Echoes of Family is last of the 7. Turning into fences 2 and 3 and striding on in front is Allegorie de Vassy and Paul Townend. Straightens for the second, leading Instit and Danny Mullins, then Brights Hill, Sean Flanagan in third, and fourth is Calico and Jack Kennedy. Break then to Must Be Obeyed, who was low at that second fence for Dad O'Keefe, and then our Dear Shane O'Callaghan, Echoes of Family and Mike O'Connor, the back markers. On to fence number 3. The final fence the next time they meet it, and off to the right, Allegorie de Vassy, but safely to the other side as she goes further away from stable companion Instit. Instit 2 clear of the third running Brights Hill, then Calico. 8 lengths to Must Be Obeyed, having her second outing of the festival, is 2 behind our Dear and Echoes of Family as they rise uphill to fence number 4. And stringing them out is Allegorie de Vassy. Leads to the 4th Instit and then Brights Hill, Calico. No changes in the 1 to 4. Allegorie de Vassy jumped that in a fashion. Instit second, 6 lengths back, then Brights Hill. Calico is 4th. Calico in turn, well cleared of Must Be Obeyed, and then our Dear and Echoes of Family. Uphill they go to fence number 5. Allegorie de Vassy again into the corner. Instit, followed by Brights Hill, Calico. Gone a long way clear of the other 3 at the back. Must Be Obeyed, our Dear and Echoes of Family. Downhill they go to fences 6 and 7. It's Allegorie de Vassy, followed by Instit, Brights Hill and Calico. As the 4 race by themselves, well cleared of Must Be Obeyed. And then our Dear and Echoes of Family, the first ditch. At the foot of the track, Allegorie de Vassy jumped that straighter than the couple previously. Instit second, then Brights Hill and Calico. On to the 7th, bringing them towards the halfway stage. Allegorie de Vassy over from Instit, Brights Hill, and then Calico, Must Be Obeyed. Our Dear and Echoes of Family. They're well strung out. Turning inside the halfway stage, and there are 7 fences left to jump. Then the Hanlon Concrete EBF Glencarraig Lady Francis Flood Mares Chase Grade 2. Allegorie de Vassy, who took it up very early on, approaches the first of 3 in the back straight, safely over from Instit. He's just hurling on to second for the time being from Brights Hill. Gone on from Calico and then Must Be Obeyed, our Dear and Echoes of Family. Centre fence in the back straight, 6 from the finish. Allegorie de Vassy. Brights Hill jumped up on terms with Instit for the second place, then Calico, Must Be Obeyed, out in front of the trailing pair, our Dear and Echoes of Family. Last on the far side. 5 fences from the finish. And it's Allegorie de Vassy, with now moving off in pursuit. It's Brights Hill, losing a place to the third Instit. Clear from Calico and then Must Be Obeyed as they turn towards the 4th last fence. Allegorie de Vassy and Paul Townend from Brights Hill. And Sean Flanagan within 5 to 6 lengths. 2.5 lengths back to Instit. And Danny Mullins in third, gone clear from Calico in 4th. 4 fences left to jump. Allegorie de Vassy maintains a useful looking advantage over Brights Hill. And then Instit. Calico, they've 3 fences left to jump. The fence on the home turn coming up. Allegorie de Vassy with a slightly reduced advantage over Brights Hill. Instit in third, Calico in 4th, and then Must Be Obeyed. The third last fence on the turn into the straight. Allegorie de Vassy safely over, but jumping much closer, Brights Hill. Now within about 3 lengths. A gap appearing to in third place, Instit, and then Calico and Must Be Obeyed. As the main 2 turn in, separated by a couple of lengths. Allegorie de Vassy and Brights Hill, who's now shaken up on the outside to try and close. Coming down to the second last, Allegorie de Vassy and Paul Townend. On the right is Bride's Hill, who jumped up on terms for Sean Flanagan and is coming there very strongly. And it is Bride's Hill who has taken easily the long-time leader, Allegorie de Vassy. And with one fence left to jump, it's Bride's Hill coming clear. At the final fence, Bride's Hill safely over from Allegorie de Vassy. This is a performance and a half as Bride's Hill goes through the season unbeaten. In the Hanlon Concrete EBF Glencarraig Lady Francis Flood Mare's Grade 2 chase. What a performance by the two mare. Bride's Hill has won by a street. Second is Instit. Second in the race for the second year running. Must be obeyed. Allegorie Vassy 3 and 4.
Very, very easy in the end for Bride's Hill, who has run out a wide margin winner here under Sean Flanagan. Another one of the week for Gavin Cromwell. Percival de Galway went close for him in the previous event. Bride's Hill, what a season she's had. Very well placed. And the sequence continues down here with a massive prize as well at the Punchestown Festival.
Yeah, she was very good, Gary. Sean Flanagan was happy to allow her just ease into her rhythm behind a good pace. It looked like Allegorie de Vassy set a good pace. She was a bit to her right over the first few fences, which is her want, but turning for home here, Sean Flanagan has closed the gap and they jumped the third last fence. That's when Bride's Hill got to within range of Allegorie de Vassy, and then down to the second last. It's just a case of how much each rider is holding on to, and turns out Paul Townend isn't holding on to very much in Allegorie de Vassy. Bride's Hill just eases up on her outside, eases into the lead, and then kicks on. Bride's Hill, she would have been the big player in the mare's chase at Cheltenham, but Gavin Cromwell decided to take her out of that, and because of the soft ground and come on here, he won that race anyway with Limerick Lace. And Bride's Hill, she's such an improved mare. She had a fall at Ferryhouse back in October the year before last, and remember Gavin Cromwell saying it just took her a little while to get over that, but she's over that now. She's now won her last 4, and yeah, this is a really impressive performance.
Goes to the line really strongly, and the Bride's Hill Syndicate, who own her, I'm sure will give her a great reception when she comes back in, even though the rain is coming out a little bit heavier now here at Punchestown than it was. Not for the first time done. Allegorie de Vassy has folded very, very tamely once push came to shove. Yeah, she looked like she was swinging along in front, and she's just turned into the home straight with a reduced advantage on Bride's Hill. The pair of them are nicely clear of Instit in third, but yeah, it just turns out that Paul Townend wasn't holding on to that much. Bride's Hill actually picked up in front at the second last fence, and from there on it's just a case of her negotiating the final fence. But Allegorie de Vassy, yeah, she's just finished off weekly again. So that's the way it played out in our third race here at Punchestown. Bride's Hill and Sean Flanagan keeping up the good work for Gavin Cromwell, whose horses remain in tremendous form. Next up for us is the Champion Hunter Chase as we go back to Nick.
Yeah, very different results when they met at Burnley's last January. The two, Allegorie de Vassy, well accounted for Bride's Hill that day, but Bride's Hill's having a season to remember. All connected are anyway. Bride's Hill 15-8 wins. Sean Flanagan, Gavin Cromwell, well done to Bride's Hill Syndicate, Limerick Lace and Bride's Hill, two strong